Hi everyone, it's time for the next video from this little island series. This is from Johanna Basford, Small Victories. We're using Black Widow's pencils. I have made a conversion chart actually since doing this video, but because it's all filmed in advance, you'll have it available right from the beginning. You may have seen it already, but just in case you haven't. So that converting the Black Widows to their nearest matches in polychromos. Most are pretty close actually. The skin tones not quite so much so, but a lot of the others have quite close matches. So there is a chart for you to use if you want to use polychromos instead. Anyway, let's get on with this one. Come in closer. It has been a bit of a hectic morning for me, so I'm looking forward to spending some time on this little island. Look, I'm just gonna get off my boat and chill underneath the palm tree. Oh, lovely. Right, let's get on with a little bit of colouring. Where should we start? Now, water. Let's have a go with, I'm going to try, I'm not sure if this is the blue I used last time actually. I'm just going to have a look. Bear with me. No, I want to try and use the different colours. So this is the Blue Heaven from the Scorpion set. Oops. And I'm just going to do all of the water with this to start with and then add in another shade. Yes, it's been a bit hectic. Thursday mornings, both boys have to be in, one by 10:15, one by 9:15, and they're in all day. So quite often, a few weeks ago, my Thursday was lovely. They went off, got in, had lessons, chilled, was great. This morning, however, we've got really bad weather, rain, lots and lots of rain. And there was a warning on the weather saying it might interfere with public transport and things like that. And I was like, oh, it seems fine here, you know. So I didn't think much of it. I'm going to use the turquoise from the Scorpion set. But unfortunately, I just sharpen it. My first son needed to get in for 9:15. He left on time, got to the station, got on the train, all was well. But a couple of stops before his, there was a signal failure on the train. So they were sat there for over an hour, probably a bit longer, to be honest. I think the train ended up being 2 hours late. So he was just sitting there, not knowing quite what was going on. Whether it was due to the actual weather, the rain or not, I do not know. Apparently there was a power outage, so it could have been. So he was sitting there for ages and ages and ages not knowing, and in the end his train they firstly said the train was going to turn around and come back. And he was like, yeah, I just want to go home. You know, he's supposed to be in till 5:15, but anyway, he said, I don't want to come home. So okay. I said, well, you know, you can't really, but you know, you might be able to get a bus back over and whatever. Then they said, no, actually, we're just going to go all the way. Okay. Still stopped at this time, speculating, driver, not quite knowing what's going on. Eventually, they went to the next station and the train terminated, and he just had one station to go. So, but there was a Welsh train there at the station, which is quite handy. He could hop on there. They tell you, the driver said, you know, go to this platform, you can get this train. And he only had a couple of minutes to wait, and eventually he got to the town where his uni is. Phew. But then he's got a sort of 20-minute walk. So by the time he gets there, he's got a 3-hour class. I don't want to do too much more, or else I'm going to not see any of the lighter colour. I think I'll just make it a bit darker here. I have been telling my story, not telling you what I'm doing, but I hope you can see that I'm just making it a bit darker at these lower lines. There's no reasoning for that, apart from the fact that I just want to make the water not all look the same colour. Excuse me. So anyway, so he gets to uni, thank goodness, at last he's there. And yeah, his 3-hour lesson, there's just over an hour left. He's like, I don't want to walk in now. I'm like, no, I don't blame you. No, I don't blame you at all. So he's like, I'm not going to go in, but I'll wait. Obviously he's going to wait around. He's got a class later, so he's going to wait around for that class. I've got a colour called sand, I think. I'm just trying to find it. Yellow sand. This is it. Although we've got bits of grass I'm going to use the yellow sand. Again, we're in the Scorpion set. It's quite a versatile set actually, although there's no dark purple, there's not much, and there's no black. Yeah, it depends what you're looking for. I do have a chart as well with a list of all the pencils that are in each set. It's not swatched because I don't have every set, but it'll give you an idea of what to expect. So if you were thinking of buying one or more sets of Black Widows, it will show you what there is. But as I say, I've done this comparison chart so you can see if you've got polychromos or any other pencils, you can probably find an equivalent quite easily. Now on my sand, I don't want it just yellow. I want to put a little bit of other colour in. I'm looking at my skin tones. I think these dark skin tones are going to be quite useful. This is the cinnamon, and I'm going to see where we've got these dots. I'm going to put a little bit on there. I'm going to use it quite lightly because this is quite a dark colour and I don't want my sand to be too dark. I just want a few areas of darker colour. So yes, so that was a bit of a morning. My other son, he got to the station. His train had already been cancelled because of the problems. I'm just putting some dots on. You have to do this. And so he managed to. He's like, oh, can you ask Dad to come and give me a lift? I was like, well, no, because he's supposed to be going to work. So I said, there's a bus, just go and get a bus. He's like, all right. And he phoned me, so can you just ask Dad? I was like, no. So anyway, this is Huntsman. I think on my chart it's called Huntsman. For some reason I decided I couldn't spell it properly. Oh, it's a bit dark, isn't it? For our anyway, they're all there. And husband was late leaving. He took a couple of phone meetings at home before he left because he had a 9 o'clock and he couldn't make it for then. So he doesn't usually get into work till about 10. And hence it is already 11:05. My nose is running now. Hold on a minute. And I have barely done anything. Well, I sort of have. My son sent me a message. I'll just check it while I'm wiping my nose. Oh, hang on. He needs me to send him a file. Right, I think I sent him the right file. I may have to go off and do something else in a minute. We'll see. Right, I want another little colour on our tree trunk. I'm going to use the dark tan just to fill in that middle bit where I want it a little bit lighter. That's also, that brown was a bit darker than I thought. But there we go. And we've got these, I think, must be our coconuts. Let's choose a different colour for those than the tree trunk, just so they look a little bit different. I'm going to choose this dark chocolate. I think coconuts are normally quite dark. Now, Johanna's drawn like this sort of furry bit on them, like there's lines. So I'm just going to try and colour in a sort of liney way. There we go. There. Yeah. Now, I'm not sure what colour a palm tree, apart from green, is, and I'm just having a little look at what I have got. I'm tempted to use this one here. This is the forest colour. Oops, from the Cobra set, the forest. I'm going to use this. Excuse me. And my thought is that it'd be quite dark here in the middle. I'm going to do all of them here, quite dark. But if we look at the shape of the leaves, you see how it comes up and down. So I'm thinking this bit might be lighter than the tip, because the tip, in most cases, is lower than there. So I'm going to now put some dark here. And then just fade that up like that. Fade that down a bit. Yeah. Do that on each of them, and we can just put a little bit of a lighter colour in here maybe, if I can find something that's going to work. I can't always remember with these what shades they are. I'll have to have a little think, a little look. Yeah, just checking, because I sent my son the file. He hasn't replied to say whether it was the right one or not, so I don't know. I guess he's working on it in class. Yeah, he might be. Or chatting to his friends about it. Now I'm wondering if the olive green is a slightly lighter shade. I'm going to give it a try. This is again from the Scorpion. No, the other one's from Cobra. I'm getting myself confused now. So I'm thinking we can probably just continue this up like that. So we've just got a little bit of a lighter bit and sort of try and blend it in by layering up a bit more nearer to those darker areas. Yeah, I'm happy with that. A little bit different. I'm not sure if it's the right colour. I'm assuming there are lots of different types of pine tree and they might, palm tree, say it right, they might be different shades of green, but I don't know. We get a few in the UK, they're usually quite dark to be honest, but I rather like these shades, so why not? Now I have my husband's taking Monday off work, he's going to have a long weekend, which will be rather nice. Mondays are quite good days for me having free time. I thought we could have a bit of time together. We could go out together, even if it's just for a coffee or something. It'd be nice in our town, you know. Yeah, it's a bit. Mondays are always hectic in the morning. I have to get them out, the boys out early. But once they're out, then you know, then it's quiet. Now in here, look where they overlap. I want a little bit of darker colour, but I think I'm going to go for. I'm wondering whether to go for a black. Maybe not. Maybe a dark brown. I'm going to pick another brown. This is called choctone. You could use. The page is flapping about. There we go. You could use the same brown, sorry, that you've used already if you've sort of run out of browns. But this one is from the dark skin tone set, choctone. And what I'm doing is I'm going to go right in the centre there. Oh, it's all wobbly. And then in there, where they just overlap, just pop in a little shadow line. It's really not completely necessary, but I'm just sort of having a play, really. There, there's my tree. So, now, where should we go next? Should we do the grass? Or as some of you say, grass. I was told by my friend Mary that she says grass, not grass. Now, in the UK, we say both. In the north, generally, you say grass, and in the south, where I live, we say grass. We use a longer vowel sound. Particularly in the county that I live, we tend to use a really long vowel sound in our words. So I think it can be quite funny. I'm going to use the green grass colour, the grass one. I'm nattering. My mother-in-law used to find my accent funny. She used to say it was adorable, but I'm not sure. She used to laugh. When I say things like girl and curtain and any sort of earl type sound, it's that long vowel sound. It's just how everyone speaks. Well, not everyone. My boys don't speak like it. My husband doesn't. It's fascinating. My boys haven't really picked up my accent, even though they live in the same county that I grew up. We're in a different town. We have even, you know, sort of, I don't know how far away we are. I'm trying to think, maybe half an hour's car drive, something like that from where I grew up. I just wiping my nose and trying to think about these. Now I want to colour these bright and cheerful, sort of in a floral type way. And I'm trying to think of a colour. I'm thinking, we've got a sail to colour as well. You know, we could stick to blues. I need my brush. Here it is. We could stick to blues, but I think that's going to be a bit samey. I quite like to go along the red route, so I'm having a look and I'm thinking maybe the blood diamond might be nice. for all of these. Could do them different colours, but I'm quite liking the idea of keeping them the same. I'm going to try and intensify my colour a little bit in the base, a bit lighter on the tip as it sort of fans out. I wonder if, and this one's got a stem which I'm going to do in red. Maybe that's a bit wrong, I don't know. But, oh, that should be a bit of grass. Oh well, sorry if you did it wrong like me. I'm going to try and erase it, but I don't think there's any saving it really. We could try going over the top. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try going over the top. Oh, that's better. It sort of disappears back a little bit. No one knows. No one saw, did you? You weren't looking. Right, let's finish these sort of fan flowers. That's what I want to call them. I wonder if they're real. I know Johanna doesn't always base her things on real, but I like to think it might be real. Something is bothering me about my sand. I'm just going to go back there. Now the cinnamon I was using on the sand, and I want to do a little bit under my coconuts. I think here it's a little bit pale, and I'm thinking there might be a bit of shadow here, both from the tree and the coconut. So I just want to put, and just trying to do a circular motion. It's going a bit messy. A little bit there. And then I'm going to go back to my yellow sand colour and just pop a little bit on top, just sort of blend it in a bit. And I've been using prismas today, so when you do this with prismas you can literally move them around the page, but you can't with these. I am going to use some prismas soon. I'm getting braver, and I am practicing. I've done about, yeah, let's use this. Let's use the tarantula. Oh, there we go, for the main part of the boat. I'm thinking for the mast. Yes, I've done a couple of Chris Cheng videos. I've done a few bits on my own. I'm beginning to feel a lot more confident, and I thought I might do one soon. Now, I know some of you are very against me doing prismas and some of you really want it, so it's tricky because obviously I can't keep everybody happy. So I want to do one, so I'm going to do one for me and hope that you enjoy it. And I do have a Prisma Poly. This is Foxy Brown for the this bit of the boat conversion chart. So if you can still colour along if you don't have the Prismas, and use your polychromos. And the technique is a little bit different, but I'm going to emphasise these lines. Sorry, this is the tarantula. I've just picked it up. Oh, you can't see that, can you? There you are. So yes, you might still be able to follow along. As I say, the technique is a little different because they blend in a different way, but I'm just going to put a little bit more on the end. So yes, there is that, but you can make it work. Now I want a purple sail on my little boat. There's some beautiful purples in the Cobra set. You can see I use them a lot. This is the grape. And I'm just going to do a really light layer because I want to put some shadows in and I want to use my grape for that. So I need to make sure that I don't put it down too hard to start with, or else I have no tooth left in my paper to put my shadows in. Now I'm thinking about how does this work. It sort of folds up and down. It looks like a sunshade on a pushchair or a pram, but I'm sure it must be that there are sails like this, or else Johanna would not have drawn it like this. I know she does do things from imagination, but they're usually loosely based on some sort of reality. So by making them darker each bit, it makes it look a bit more hopefully, like it is sort of curved. I'm going to use a slightly darker tone as well, just because I'm being fussy, and I also need to work out what these are. This, oh no, I picked up a green. That's not what I want. This is the space. It's a darker purple colour, and I'm just going to use it sort of along the very edges. Oh, good. My son said the file I sent him was perfect. Thank you. That's good. It's nice to feel useful. You know, as much as I want them to become independent and not rely on me all the time, it is nice, isn't it? When you feel you can help. I'm thinking, I don't know what these are. I am going to colour them all in different shades of pink. Why not? I feel like doing some pink. Sunlight me. So this is Delicious Pink from this Scorpion set. And then the shade of pink you use here is, oh, I need to sharpen, is, doesn't matter at all. We're not going to be blending them or anything, so just use any pinks. I'm going to use 4 different pinks if I can find 4 different pinks. I think I can. I'm going to fade it a bit to the top, but not worry too much. Just try and increase the intensity at the bottom by layering it up. There we go. And then what should I go? Where should I go? I'm going to go over here to my Cobra set. I have a bubblegum. I don't know how different the pink is really. I was swatching these out the other day, and I kept them in their sets, so I didn't really see how close, but some of the pinks and reds do seem quite similar. I am going to use the Cyanide Pink, I think is what it's called. Oh, there it is, from the Spider set. They really look very much the same as each other at the minute. And lastly, what shall I use? I'm going to use one from the Skin Tones. What's this one called? This one is called Pretty Pink. And use that for the last one. Now you could, gosh that's blunt. Sorry, I put something down on the page to stop it flapping around. I don't know if it gets on your nerves, but it gets on my nerves. Okay, so here is the Pretty Pink. Oh, it's a bit paler, that one, but it's so close. Some of them are a bit close, but then there are, I think, if I remember rightly, 144 Black Widow's pencils. Right, I'm going to get a white. Which white have I been using? Have I been using the 8? I think so. I'll put it away because, you know, tidy and all that. I think it is. Now, let's have a think. Well, no, probably just on the water like we have been. I'm going to just follow along these black lines with a little bit of white. Just gentle little loops, swirls. They don't really show up. I'm not worried really. I'm going to scribble though. I do want a little bit of a mark. That's better. I can see it now. I don't know if you can. Might be better to have a slightly thicker pen. But I'm just going to put a few marks here and there. Just sort of in the direction of the black lines. Just to, again, try to create an illusion of movement in our water. Right. I think that is done now. I've got no idea how long I spent on that because I kept stopping and starting. I've now still got 2 messages I need to answer and they don't look urgent. But anyway, I shall hopefully be able to get to the next one soon. But for today, thank you so much for watching. Hoping that you have a really lovely day. And yeah, thank you for listening to my train woes. There's always train woes, but I am now chilled. It's nice to wait until it's all resolved and then I can feel chilled and come and talk to you. But thank you for listening. Have a really super day and happy colouring.